saying that men will sleep with anything but won't marry you, yet he's a good man. If you understand biology and you understand evolution, um, it's just how men are hardwired. It's the same way women are picky with who they have sex with, right? There's women have tons of dudes constantly hitting on them to try to have sex with them, but they're discerning with who they have sex with. That's what they control. And if you check all the boxes you need to check with that woman, then she's going to allow access to her body. Men operate the same way with their resources. Okay, so yeah, he can still be a good dude. It's social construct, and no, it's not social construct. It's biological construct. It's biological.
My bad. I just want to add to that is that as many times as people can say, well, just put a ring on their finger, you do realize I could say, hey, sweetheart, let's get married. Will you marry me? And she still has to say yes. Right? Like, so all this, like, well, you didn't do this, and you don't know what that man could have proposed 4 or 5 times. And she was like, nah, I ain't ready for all of that. We don't know.
Oh, that is a good point, yeah.
Not even just that, though. Like, when it's one thing to pay child support, it's another thing to pay alimony, split half your shit and child support, right? So therefore, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to marry no woman. You know, I might sleep with her, but I'm not going to marry no woman unless she got white qualities. I'm sorry. I'd rather pay child support than everything else.
Yeah, but it's again. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, some chick has 11 kids, but I don't give a shit if the JJ sings show tunes. I'm not going to marry.
Right, but you gotta understand, these people have a 15-year history with each other. So they started off having kids, and this guy, they were together. It's not like they were just randomly banging. Like you can tell by counting the ages and based off the information she given, they were actually together as a couple. And this man stuck with her and had all these kids with her and took care of all these kids. She's living in a house now that he owns that she did not have to pay the rent. He only started charging her rent once she got pregnant by another man, one of her escorts, one of her tricks. So it's possible here too, as well, that maybe when they were together and when they broke up, she turned to escort because now she lost access to the resources that he was providing. And maybe he did put her up in that house feeling bad for her and saying, hey, you know what? I don't want her completely out in the cold, but maybe she broke up with him. Who knows? She might have broken up with him. He's like, okay, well, bitch, you're going to leave.
Remember she said, oh, yeah, he was in that.
She just unprotected. Yeah, the unprotected sex with it. I don't know if people are really talking about that. That's the one thing that bothers me. She had unprotected sex with that client. Like, she's not scared of no diseases, no nothing.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely not. But what I'm saying is that, and there's so many possibilities. We don't know 100%, but it is possible that, what Seesaw said, maybe he did want to marry her, and she's like, I'm not ready for that. I'm not. And you do hear women, if you listen to these shows, and these women come on and they tell their stories, a lot of the times they'll have a baby daddy, and they'll be asked, well, why didn't you marry him? Well, marriage is a big thing. I wasn't ready for that yet. And then the follow-up question, then why the fuck would you have a kid? A kid is a way more liability and burden than a fucking marriage is. But a lot of these black women in their minds, yeah, they're not ready for marriage yet, but they'll pop out a kid. So I'm willing to bet a paycheck. That was probably her mentality. This dude was probably ready to settle down because everything looks like he was ready to settle down. He's protecting, he's providing, he's sticking with this woman. He literally created a family with this woman. I'm willing to bet she probably wasn't married. That's where I'm willing to place my bet.
She's done my deed, so I can take her. And I said, okay. Until I get to things get better, or as I can buy me a house. Let's do the Kendrick catfish.
Hey, what does she look like, Sid? What does she look like?
Oh, so the link's up top. Yeah, the link's up top. So, I'll give you guys a spoiler here because there's only another 2 minutes left on this clip. But, the way Kendra works is she goes through her series of questions. Because this is a dating show, folks, if you're not familiar with Kendra G Singles. It's a dating show, so she allows people to come on and tell the world about themselves, and the people watching can get in contact with the people that present themselves to try to matchmake. So Kendra will ask a series of questions, so you have a kind of a brief bio on the person, and And then Kendra requires a person to stand up and show their body so you have some idea of what they physically look like from head to toe. Again, here comes the combativeness. Kendra says, hey, you have to follow my rules. You have to answer all the questions, and you have to show what you look like physically. If not, you're fucking done. We're cutting you off, and we're moving on to the next person. Here we go back again with the combativeness. And I've seen this woman's Instagram because everybody dug up her Instagram because they thought she was lying and thought she was a troll. But her Instagram's out there. She's 100% real, and she looks like a fucking sack of wet laundry. She's built like a sack of wet laundry.
Oh my lord!
I'll see if I can find it. I'll post it in the chat. Yeah, give me a second. I'm gonna play the rest of the clip. But I mean, and after having 10 kids, rightfully so, like a woman's body ain't gonna be what it was, before the kids. But the bad thing is on her Instagram, she's shaking her ass, twerking, like she's pretty much acting like a fucking 20-year-old hot girl on Instagram, and it's fucking disgusting.
This hot girl love her. Don't worry about it.
Did she ever say her age? Because she looked like she's 40 or something.
Let me see. She's in her 30s. I give her mid-30s.
Yeah, let's see. Let me see. Let me see if let's see. We'll go back.
Oh, listen.
Let's see.
That's what it is. That body shot.
Yep. Yeah. So let me see if I can. Let me see if I'll see if I can find the Instagram and put the link in the chat. Yeah, because they went and found her ass real quick, man. And oof, Jesus fucking Christ, man. Jesus fucking Christ. That's a hot ass mess right there. Let's see. Yeah, I gotta scroll through these comments. I think somebody linked her Instagram, but I saw a video popped up of her, and they were going through showing her Instagram and going through her video showing how ratchet and ghetto she was, and she's twerking and shaking her ass like her shit don't stink, like she's hot shit, man. It's just fucking sad, bro. Fucking sad. But yeah, man, this is a mentality, man, and listen to how she talked. Just an immature mentality, man. She looks like a fucking 5-year-old brain in a 35-year-old woman's body. Like this is why men are marrying these women. It's just a fucking headache to deal with, man. Could you imagine going to work every goddamn day, busting your fucking ass? Like, imagine this man that had 10 kids with her. This man works. This man's got money. He's got properties. He's got a fucking portfolio. He makes good fucking money. And he's clearly busting his fucking ass to take care of her and 10 kids. And this is what he's got to come home to every fucking day. Is that what you're...
Hey, say.
What up, AJ? What's up?
So, have you heard of Shahrazad Ali?
Yes. The older black, right?
Yeah.
Parliamentarian.
Yeah. good money to have her on this damn path. She famously said that, and it was something that you just said just a second ago, that she's a 5-year-old brain in a 35-year-old body. Shahrazad Ali said black men have to deal with black women as if they were 14 years old, because that is the age that they stop mentally maturing, emotionally maturing, and things of that nature. Like when you deal with black women, this is what she said, a black woman. For the people in the room that think I'm just, about to dunk on black women, no. This is what she said. I will pull the clips. She said, black men have to deal with black women as if they're dealing with a 14-year-old girl, like they're talking to a 14-year-old girl, because of the emotional maturity, immaturity, the mental immaturity, and everything of that nature. And they behave like they are children operating in grown bodies. That's exactly what's happening in today's society. So if anybody is doubting anything that I'm saying, go look up Shahrazad Ali. She has a book called The Black Man's Guide to Dealing with the Black Woman. Informative reading.
Agent, good morning. You take the kid. This is exclusive just to black women. You don't take white women, Asian women.
She was only specifically speaking about the dynamics between black men and black women. So she outlined that specifically. She hones in on that. She's not talking about any other race. She's not talking about any other demographic of women and men. Just only the conditions of black America.
Take it for the context. Take it.
Yeah, her name is Shahrazad Ali.
I was going to say, I've heard white men even talk about this amongst their women as well. That I don't think it's a race thing when it comes to the women being like children. I think that's a thing, like for women in general, to be real with y'all, man. Like, there's a lot of women that pretty much are, there's, arrested development. You know what I'm saying? They stuck at 16, 17, the more mature is like stuck at 25. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's a reason for that. There's a reason why that is. Because society has this incessant obsession with infantilizing women and tolerizing them, especially about their development in society. Whenever a woman says, hey, I make my own money, I have my own car, I have my own place, blah, blah, this and that, she's praised for it. It's just like when a toddler meets a milestone, right? At 2 years old, they're learning to potty by themselves. Yay! They applaud it. They get praised for it. They get rewarded for it, right? When a child learns how to walk and how to feed themselves, right? Yay! Big girl, yay! And praise them for it. This is what society is doing for women. It's doing to women. Is that they are praising them for being functioning adults. Congratulations, you're supposed to have your own vehicle. You're supposed to make your own money. You're supposed to have your own place. Congratulations. But I'm not about to applaud a fish for swimming. And that is what society has been doing to women and for women for years now. So therefore, the arrested development comes into play.
You're 100% correct, Adrian. Yeah.
I just want to say, crazy comes in all colors, man. But just get it.
Well, you're 100% correct, but where is it most frequent?
Well, I can't speak on the black community. I can speak for white people.
No, you absolutely can, JB. We have stats to prove it. Let me say, here's the thing. When you start, okay, and I get what you're saying, but when we're trying to build this puzzle,
look at all these text messages.
In order to understand the content of the puzzle,
this is her profile.
Every single piece, you just need enough pieces, and you can say, "Oh,
Spanish
that's a puzzle of
virgin
water,
olive oil.
right? That's a puzzle of a puppy. That's a puzzle of a hot air balloon, whatever." When you start getting all these pieces of the puzzle and start connecting the dots. So, for example, the study that was released, or the data that was released by Bumble Tinder Match back in 2014. When they released who's getting swiped on the most, who's getting swiped on the least. whoever was getting picked the least on these apps, it was black women and Asian men.
Moderate.
You can look at that and connect the dots and say, well, Asian men, out of all the groups of men, Asian men are considered pretty much the most effeminate, right? They're the least masculine when you break it down by ethnicity. So you can understand, okay, we can see why they're the least picked because women typically want masculine men. When you look at black women, they're typically considered the more masculine out of the several groups of women. And you can understand, okay, that would make sense to least pick on these apps because men don't like masculine women, they want feminine women.
Stupid and
when you look at single motherhood rate, black women are single mothers at about 70% rate. All the other races ain't nowhere near that, JB.
I don't really drink.
And we understand is that men are very picky with who they give a ring to. So that would make sense that, hey, men, if they find a woman that fits and checks their boxes, which is pretty much simple things, sex, sandwich, silence, you get a fucking ring. All the other races of women are married at a 50% rate. I'm sorry, all the other races of women don't have a baby mama rate at 70%. They're all typically around 10, 15, 20% is typically the threshold when you compare the other races. But black women are skyrocketing all the way to 70%. Well, that means, hey, that makes sense. Men aren't going to marry a woman that they find is going to be insufferable and a burden on their fucking piece. So that can make sense. And we all see how black women act out in public. You know, you hear these stories.
What do you think these stats are? And I'm not being stats, but that's exactly black women like to just the black LGBT people take the accountability for security.
Well, again,
Like they already have.
right. Over 50% of black men are childless and single in this country, JB. So the majority of black men are baby daddies, are impregnating women and leaving them out high and dry. So can black men use some work in our community? Absolutely we can. But when you start looking at the black men who are problematic in our community, what's the common denominator? Raised by and influenced by a black single woman. Typically the black men who have dads in their lives typically are pretty well off and these are pretty decent dudes. And then when you go a little bit further and start peeling off more layers of this onion, JB, why did these women have a kid and there's no husband around? Why didn't the man stick around? Typically the women who can't get a man to stick around, they make very bad choices. They have attitudes, they're fucking combative, they're not conducive to being a good wife and a good mother. And this is what keeps those men from committing to them. This is typically where the rabbit hole always leads down to, JB. And the stats show support this. Black men marry at a higher rate than black women do. Black women are at a 23% marriage rate in this country, JB. All other races of women start off around 47% of them. So, again, it starts making sense. And when you look at the black men who are incarcerated in the justice system, the vast majority of them are single mothers. JB, when I was in juvenile detention for 3 years, I was in there, and families were allowed to visit every other Sunday. There were no black fathers, it was all black mothers. All fucking black mothers. The only fathers you saw were the parents who wanted to access kids in the workplace. So they take all the police and this much to train in this trade.
understand it, but I'm saying it's my lived experience. So I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, it's true. That's a horrible counter argument to the argument.
Hey, bro, they was like, oh, somebody now, supposedly, things talked about a lot of shit, back in the 80s and 90s. And, into, I guess, like, talking about the accountability aspect or, certain black women not being, being acceptable of what you say, black women never received that grants for the things that she was saying. A lot of times, saying now, right? It just shows me that to me, a lot of them don't want to take accountability. They only want to hear about unfortunately, just want to bring it out.
No, you're right. This is why racism, everybody's out to get me. It's everybody else's fault. This is why this narrative runs so rampant in our community because we're being taught this by these black women. And again, it's female nature. Female, just women in general, are very disappointed with accountability. They're just not. So imagine your entire community, 70% of your community is raised by the very people who lack accountability, just are hardwired to not be accountable. It's no surprise you're seeing what you're seeing. It's no surprise at all. So, again, I'll go ahead and go.
Always seem like an attack to those who are not fit into the consequences of their
Maybe the most unemployed. Maybe you also because black men think that they have nothing wrong with them, and I think that that's a problem, right? If women have changed so much and you haven't, that's also a problem. So I'll let him with that. I think Dr. Adams has something he wants to say.
Yes, I do. I do want to comment on one thing that she said. Okay, I go to the gym sometimes twice a day. Okay, I get up very early in the morning. Sometimes I go late at night before they close. Right? Because I don't want to be in the gym with a bunch of influencers. But here's what I will say: in the times that I do go to the gym in the middle of the week, okay, sometimes in the middle of the day, you'll catch me there on my lunch break. I do not see a single black woman on cardio in the building. Okay, you look at the Chipotle across the street, full of black women in shower caps. They're pulling up to in their Altimas, hitting the curb. Okay, but not a single black woman in the gym. So don't tell me that this young black man did not have a point when he said that this is the only group of women where you're faced with goat versus beast, like goat versus cow. Like these women are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and louder and louder and louder. And based on the clip that Sid keeps playing, it proves my point that they're also getting lazier, lazier, and lazier.
Right. So does this include y'all black and fat ass mamas? Like, I genuinely like to. No, I genuinely like to talk about black women.
Okay, so
Okay, but I'm only gonna hear for 3 minutes. I understand y'all are triggered.
So Tori, you got 30 seconds to respond back to Doc Adams, and then Adrian has the mic right there.
Perfect. Yeah, I just wanted to know if any of these stats include, your fat black ass mama who was also a single mother that no one wanted to marry. I think black men like to other themselves, right? Oh, not my mom, not my mom. And so when we look at these stats, let's include all the family, right, who happen to be obese, right, on drugs, and single mothers.
And that's a very interesting point that she raised, and that's a valid question. I also would like to apply that question to you, ma'am. When you dated black men that were a crush, and that applies to black men in your family, your sons, your cousins, your grandfather.
Oh no, see, I married biracial, right? So I don't have
No, I didn't ask you.
right. I married a biracial man, and so I don't have any issues.
No.
Right? I do believe that he was fully black. I probably would, because he has rap cognition in him. I think it's pretty
Now, see, that's your man. Stop time.
Hold on, Tori, hold on. Lock the question in, and then you can respond after he's done. Go ahead.
Yeah. I didn't ask you who you married. Who you married has no bearing on the black men in your family. It has no bearing on your father, who's a black man, I'm pretty sure. Your grandfather, your uncle, your son, your brother, cousins. Who you married has no bearing on that. So, the broad brush that you just painted black men with, does that same paint apply to the black men in your family outside of the person that you married? Yes or no?
I don't expect.
Oh, now you don't want to discuss that, but you was just
No, I don't discuss.
bringing up black men and their mothers and the women and their.
I don't
see what's happening. Okay.
You motherfuckers think my name was.
Right, let him finish, Tori.
So you think you don't know anything about me?
Wait. Hold on. Wait. This is a problem. Adrian, I'm going to come back. Again, JB, pay attention. And black women have done several rooms where they're talking about how black men are violent, how they're abusive, how they're controlling. Imagine how crazy that would look if I went on the stage to defend black men and all I did was start shouting, yelling, cussing, and trying to take over that stage. I would literally be proving the point.
She proved the video correctly.
Oh yeah.
And I hope I continue to prove it. All of y'all are still single and married.
Tori, you're proving my point. Don't do it. Let's kill the stereotype, Tori.
It's okay. I'm just damping up the fire so I can open up a space. This is good for me.
Okay, here we go. Go to the kitchen. Bye. Get out of here. We don't tolerate that shit. You're in the kitchen now. Bye. We don't tolerate that disrespect over here.
So can I speak?
I don't disrespect your rooms when I go in there. When you guys muted me in your rooms and weren't fair to me, all I did was I hit the leave quietly button and I left. I didn't try to overtake and bulldoze your fucking stage. But again,
it's always this ghetto gang and loud mouth bitches.
JB, pay attention to the hypocrisy. She's trying to prove the point that black women aren't what we're describing, yet she's doing the exact fucking things we're describing while trying to prove that they're not.
Exactly.
So just pay attention. But go ahead, Adrian. You got it.
That was my point. Yeah, and that was my point. I showed how she was so comfortable with painting black men with a broad paint, but wanted to otherize the black men in her family, right? She didn't want to answer the question, but she was so comfortable asking black men the question, does that also apply to the black women in your family, your mamas, your unmarried mamas, and stuff like that? But when the question got flipped on her, watch how defensive she got, right? She did not want to answer the fucking question and tried to deflect it to the person that she married. I didn't ask you about the person you married, man. I asked you about the black men in your family. And a lot of these women, y'all, have black sons that they talk all of this shit about black men and say, hey, black men are trash, black men are garbage. Well, all right, then if that's the case, then your son is garbage too then. No, not my son. The men in my family are exceptional.
And see, Adrian, that's a typical tactic, because I'm almost at work, so I'm gonna jump off in a minute. But that's a typical tactic of these bonnet bandits. Okay, this is literally a typical tactic. Deflect. You asked her a very, very, very simple question, and in true bonnet bandit battle tactic, okay, she wanted to deflect and talk about the white man's family that she'd have married into. No, we're talking about your black ass. Okay, what are Pookie, Ray, and your cousins out there doing? Okay, how many people are they robbing? Okay, how many years are they locked up for? Okay, that's the question that we're asking.
I do just want to mention that white men do get arrested more than us, and we just happen to go to jail for the same type of crimes more than them. So I just want to throw that out there. And then all this like down low shit, there's no way to even prove no statistic on what black men are down low and all that weird ass shit. As far as unemployment rate, I mean, yeah, we might be there. We probably are. But I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, the gap isn't so large that it's, we're 6%, the others are like 4.5, 5. The other one, the white guys are like at 3.5 to 4. Like, come on, it ain't that big. I mean, I get it. That's a couple 100,000, maybe a couple million.
I was just about to mention that. So here's the actual facts, because people don't look up numbers. He is only referring to less than 7%, not of the entire male population in America, but of the black male population in America. Less than 7% is even one of the categories. Well, so these categories, like maybe 30, 40, but the rest of the categories, drugs, punctuation, low unemployment, and everything else, that's 7% or less. So I'm really trying to figure out why are 70% of men affecting the entire population of the women. That seems like it ain't the men issue. Why are the women only being affected by 7% of the entire population? Seems like a weakness in their part.
And then go ahead, Doc. I got you in 1 second. 60% of y'all are bigger than us. That is weird. You're talking about us being overweight, but you're bigger than us.
Well, let me jump in for 2 seconds, just 2 seconds. The story says, can I speak? Thank you. Tori says, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, the obesity rate among black men in the United States is 41.1%. So I want to say, Dr. The mic is yours, man.
Yeah, but it also says that it's negligible because it's the same almost damn near compared amongst black, Hispanic, and white men. It might be like a half a percentage point off. So I actually looked that up just now too, and I posted it right under that. So what she's talking about is bullshit. Yeah, maybe a little bit more obese than other men, right? But we're right there, right? We're all right there together, number one. And number two, black women are the most obese by a long shot compared to other women. And they're more obese than Asian men, and I believe in a whole bunch of other groups of men. They're just bad.
So the obesity is a conversation, but I do want to get to this new thing that black women are starting to do with the DL thing. It's really starting to hurt my soul. And the GAY, the GAY and the DL, these acronyms that they're creating for masculine men who stand on their square, who are stoic and don't take bullshit, right? Let's just cross the bridge for a second and remember that I'm not sure if there's a statistic for this, but it'd be great if someone could go ahead and search it and pull it up for me. Is it not a thing where women are married, but then have these little girlfriends that they're sneaking and having sex in these little cute girl trips that's happening and stuff that's going on that don't nobody know what's going on. Y'all be licking coochies and stuff. Y'all be twiddling clits and doing all kinds of things and doing lesbian activities and don't nobody know. Is that not down low too? Don't nobody question that because men like that stuff, right? But at the same time, y'all still not being truthful. Because did you tell that man you was bisexual? Did you tell that man you like Gucci? Did you tell that man that you was anything other than a woman that likes men? So all I'm saying is like, it goes across the board. If you're going to point fingers on one end, make sure you're looking at your own pot that you're pissing in. Because some of y'all be doing shit underneath the goddamn table too. And men don't be knowing what the fuck y'all be doing on these goddamn girl trips. Y'all be going to Cancun, Mexico, whatever the fuck, Caribbean. They don't know what the fuck y'all be doing. They just let y'all go, pay for the fucking trip, let y'all go, do whatever the fuck y'all want. So all I'm saying is sometimes when people are busy pointing all the fingers, they want to do the army point, with the whole hand and all 5 fingers pointing at the men. That's cute that y'all are creating that, but y'all not army leaders. It's not that. So stop licking coochie and then talking about men that's doing whatever the fuck they do what they did because you're not men. Okay? Stop getting into men's business because you're not a man. And respectfully, only gay men and lesbian women are worried about, and trans women are worried about when men are put naked.
And by the way, so I thought Corey was about to make her own room. She's in the chat. She booted out.
Right, boy.
She can't help themselves. She wanted to be right. She wanted to be raped so bad. She's acting like the true chin fashion. She booted out. Like, stop it. You feel me?
And here's the thing, I do want to extend an olive branch because yesterday in their room, I was trying to directly reply. My name was brought up. Someone spoke on the point that I made and brought my name up and used me as an example. And you guys know in Clubhouse, if someone directly addresses you, typically you're allowed to respond. I went to respond, and another black woman decided to come off mic and try to overtalk me. And they muted me and silenced me in that room. I didn't talk shit in the chat. I didn't come off mic and argue with the mods. I just quietly just left. I said, hey, you know what? This is your space. I don't like that I'm being treated unfairly, but you can run your shit how you want. And I came to my space and started my own room. So what I want to do, Tori, is I want to extend an olive branch because I did disrespect your room yesterday that you were modded in. You guys were running. I'm going to ask you not to disrespect my room. And if you can show the same level of respect I showed you, I want to invite you back on stage. But I want you to be calm, cool, collected, and let's have a conversation. So let's see if we give Tori a chance to try to show black women in a positive light that they do have some self-control, decorum, and grace and femininity. So if you want to come back up, you're more than welcome to.
See how this goes.
We'll see how this goes. I just set her invite up. She's more than welcome to come up and try.
How many minutes do you give it? How many minutes?
It's so sad because she doesn't realize she's proving the point, but their egos are so stuck up.
This is comedy for me. I like how let everyone mute up. I am the ghetto poor. Hey Cray, I'm ghetto poor. I live under a bridge and I smoke meth on a daily. I'm also a single mother who's on food stamps. So the stereotypes you all think about me are 100% true, and I'm just here to abide to them. So if you think black women are ghetto and poor, I'll be that example, right? So yeah, hey y'all, I'm here, ghetto broke poor Tori.
Yeah, bro, you was whack and disingenuous. That was disingenuous.
No, guys, this is my life, and black people are 100% right. I'm a fat, obese woman.
Tori. I'm gonna let you and Dr. Goddess rap for a second. That's a black woman.
No, I don't need to rap with her. Goddess knows me and I know Goddess.
Oh, yes, she did.
Goddess knows what's up.
I would expect you to show another black woman some respect and let's let her finish. She was coming off mic to say something and you ruled.
Oh no, you're not gonna try to defamate my character. Goddess 100% can speak, and she can do whatever she wants to say. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't disrespecting her.
So let Dr. Goddess
go. Go ahead,
Dr. Goddess go. Let's see if you can show show at least another black woman respect.
No, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Women who show women respect themselves first. So that's not going to happen. And respectfully, men in these spaces, stop asking women to do things they're incapable of. You hear me? Let's speak some actual logic in space. You're asking women to do things they're incapable of. They don't want to do it, meaning they don't have the ability to try, even to build the sense in their mind to even begin pulling it out as a thought. So while we're speaking, their children are fed and they eat fruit and they go to the gym, and no, they're not. She lives a great life, right? This is how black women with a great life speak. Let's wake it up, right? Let's wake up the truth. This is how black women who are married, whether biracial or racially loyal, who have money, who have assets, equity, credit, right? They have degrees. This is how they speak in America. This is what the equation is equaling and resulting out to. So the disingenuousness or whatever it is that she's coming on the stage to feel like she's going to divert or passive aggressive or push to the side, we're already aware of the dissatisfactions that are taking place in your reality. This is an energy of just I guess men are calling it Jezebel, but I'm saying that it's more, I think it's the wigs, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's the wigs, and they need to let their brains breathe. Black women, take it off your head. The cap is capping you. You're in the cap. I call them capzillas. You're turning into a capzilla. Take the capzilla off and let your brain breathe, because when you don't breathe through your nose, that means your brain dead. And this is the issue that we're having. Women putting eyelashes on their eyelashes, nails on their nails. This is a lot of advancement and enhancement that's not helping. And enhancements are supposed to help you. They're supposed to make you feel better. They're supposed to speak better. These high class women are speaking such low class language. I'm very, very confused. And this is not white man's language. This is what we call American English, correct? These are words in the dictionary. I haven't cursed. I haven't used profanity. I haven't said F. I haven't said MF. I haven't said anything out of context. I've used my words to speak eloquently, to say what it is I want to say. And maybe I come from the ghetto too. Maybe I didn't graduate school either. Maybe my mama is a fat black bee. Maybe my brothers went to jail too. Maybe I'm a slave too. All those things too. But somehow I know how to use my words. And get it across to the stage. You see how the whole stage just emptied out so I can speak, because words matter, little girl. It doesn't matter. You sound like the black woman who's scared of who she married. I don't know what's going on in your life.
Please don't speak about that. I really want y'all to stop.
I'm gonna drop it. I'm gonna land my plane. No. Hey, you see, I'm gonna land my plane until I say your name. I'm gonna land my plane until I say your name. How did that work? So again, this is the rhetoric, the degeneracy that is being overshadowed. Let me try. This is the degeneracy. 10 seconds. This is the degeneracy that's being overshadowed by marriage, money, and things, and wigs and weaves. This is what's being overshadowed. This type of being.
So we really have to focus on the degenerate bastards, right, that are raised in these single mother households who perpetuate these talking points, right? Some of you bitches actually need a wig. I hate to be 40 with a starter lot. And so I don't like how we like to place all black women in as if we're a monolith. Black women definitely are not who you all, and especially me, right? Like, I come on this motherfucker to troll, talk shit, content, get off the app, go about my life. Like, none of this shit really matters to me. This is fun, right? I know that goddess, you get triggered very easily. And so this is fun for me, right? I always like when you're in rooms because it gets the people riled up, right? You're good content. So your father. This is an example of father. I blame a lot of black women for right.
Tori.
This is an example of black women definitely need to start frustrating. Black women definitely just have to have these because this is an example of black women, right? This is an example of a black degenerate that black women definitely need to take accountability for. We cannot have these types of
You swore 9 times in front of your child. You swore 9 times in front of your child. You swore 9 times in front of your child. You swore 9 times in front of your child. You swore 9 times in front of your child. You swore 9 times in front of your child. You swore 9 times in front of your child. You swore 9 times in front of your child. You swore 9 times in front of your child. You swore 9 times in front of your child. You swore 9 times. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 25.
You're single and you admitted to being a goer in a house. Bitch, like that's how you baby. Bitch, you're losing your real life, and I continue to let life beat your ass. I don't need to beat your ass.
I feel bad for your child. Your child.
You feel bad for yourself,
baby.
right? I feel
Is
bad
anybody
for
caring about the baby? The baby. Tori, the baby. The baby knows Tori. But the baby knows Tori.
Don't worry about my husband is here. My husband is here.
The baby knows Tori.
My husband is here. It's okay. It's okay. But what you motherfuckers not talking about? You're trying to talk shit and think that when Tori responds, she's not supposed to respond, bitch. I'm gonna respond to any motherfucking thing, any blim, any subliminal, because you bitches be punks on this motherfucker. Or my family, my husband, the baby. Well taken care of. He's in the other room. Don't worry about what I got going on.
But what about you and the baby, though?
Bitch, don't worry.
Tori, the baby. You don't care about the baby. Tori, the baby. The baby.
It's not a dating app. It's not a dating app. So yeah, I want my fuck, right? So that's where about the baby. That's the Uncle Ruckus. Don't speak on it.
You don't care about the baby.
You're black for a reason, bitch.
You don't care about the child.
Thank you.
She don't care about the baby, y'all. Wait a minute. Hold on, Uncle Ruckus.
Shut up, faggot, bitch. Shut up, faggot. Shut up, faggot. I'm doing this shit in real life. You don't want to talk about real life. You don't want to talk about real life. That is moving the way
I'm punching your face. I need to be punching your mouth. That's what you need.
I don't need you to be bitch. Not show me that ass.
Punch in your throat. Right in your throat. Shut up.
Right? I understand you your daddy in your life. You didn't have a father. You was raised by your
I put a 10-minute timer on.
Go see therapy, bro.
And this is
Go see therapy.
You need to be punched in your throat. Call your husband so I can tell him to punch you in your throat.
You don't sound like you fucking right? And thank you for
I think this is strange.
This baby though, the baby. Did anybody peep that the baby was in the background laughing and giggling, and she is saying F's and B's and O's and I's and U's, and I'm like, what? A faggot? F? Like what? Like, bro, how is
a dangerous woman to marry though.
Yo, Brethren, but Uncle Ruckus, I'm sorry, I gotta get on you too. Hold on.
I don't take her.
No. You need to back off. No. You're no good either. You're no good either.
You've been talking back to the
No, you're no good either. Because you did that, and that wasn't good for the woman. So if you're married, you're not good either. So you don't care, and that's the problem. No, that's not good either, bro. You need to be back into a corner too, my nigga. Like, you need to stop that shit too. That shit is not cool. You did that, and that's weirdo shit. Why was it out the way?
Okay, guys, don't come off mute. I was on a phone call. I'm sorry. All the yelling and screaming and shit's crazy. So let's get back under control, guys. Let's please get back under control. Who was speaking last?
I wanted to bring up something.
Okay, go ahead. You got the mic. You can go ahead.
And this is in line with the title of the room. And I know this is going to be a big story on Clubhouse once a lot of people get wind of it, but I don't think a lot of people are getting wind of it just yet. But the black woman who was stabbed to death at McDonald's by her employee, right? By another black woman. Stabbed her up. A mother of 6 got killed. She was the manager at McDonald's and was stabbed because she sent one of her workers home early. And the girl crashed out and stabbed her, killed her. Has anybody heard that story yet?
No, I haven't. No, we haven't heard
It's about to be a national story. Trust me, it's about to blow up on Clubhouse in a few days. So I just want to put that in the ether and put that on y'all radar so y'all can see it coming. And it talks about accountability. This girl here did not appreciate being spoken to. Let her tell it. She made a video and everything. The girl who killed the manager. She made a video talking about how her manager was being disrespectful, talking to them like they're children, being a bully at work, right? Fucking up her money, sending her home for no good reason, right? And the girl just had enough of it. Enough of her shit to the point where she crashed out and she stabbed her. And killed her. And see, this is by you. It's up there in East Point, Michigan.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah, I'll have to check.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. He's not lying. I just chat GPT.
Yeah, it's up there
It
by
happened yesterday. It literally happened yesterday.
Yeah, throw a link, man. I'll put it up top. Yeah.
What's up, Say? What's up, JP?
Oh shit. What up, baby?
What's up, guys?
What up, brother? What
Long
up?
time no hear from.
Yo, is that KK? Hey,
Yes.
yo.
What's up,
KK, bro, up in the house.
What's going on? How you doing, man?
Oh, yeah, brother, KK. I ain't seen KK in a fucking hot ass minute. How you doing, sweetheart? I ain't seen her in a long ass time.
Oh, sick. Just a slightly derail. I'm gonna go back, but Sig, I just bought a new Smith & Wesson 5.7. I know you will be proud of it. It's such a beautiful piece. It's so beautiful. I wanted to get the FN, but it was a little pricey, so I just got the Smith & Wesson. But it still takes the same round. So yeah, shout out to that.
5.7. You should have went with the Ruger. You could save some more money.
Well, god damn it.
But yeah,
But it's smooth though. I don't know. I test fired it and shit. It's smooth. I liked it. But I don't know. I should have looked at the Ruger though.
so I heard, yeah, I was on the phone, man. My apologies, guys, but I heard Tori crashing out. Did you guys kick her or did she take off?
I didn't touch her, but I don't know. I think she might have left.
I ain't touching.
Okay, she probably took off then, but yeah, y'all see what I'm talking about? And here's the thing too, man. It's like you got another black woman, and I get it. You got shit, shit against black men. I get it, no problem. But you got Dr. Goddess who's been completely respectful and showing utmost respect and decorum. And it's like at least have some sense of not disrespecting another black woman. But they don't give a fuck, man. And then they'll sit up here and say black men disrespect black women so much. Black women are the most disrespected, most unappreciated. But who disrespects and unappreciates black women more than other black women?
You know what's crazy, Sig? It's not like we weren't just clowning every black woman. We're not even we were reviewing a video and discussing that. And for someone to say that, oh, this is fun for me. So getting irate, cussing in your husband, you said, yeah, my husband's in the house with me, and he's allowing that. But I'm supposed to look at your husband with, like, as a man of respect. Like, what man would allow that kind of energy in his household? But why is that considered fun? That's an even bigger question. Why is going crashing out on the internet considered fun?
Because she's not happy. She's not satisfied with her husband. She doesn't respect her husband. Any woman who respects her husband is not going to conduct herself that way.
Or say there's no man in the house. Pause. Let's be honest, right? Let's be honest. I respectfully, if y'all's men's that I think y'all is, there's not no man in there. Just there can't be. And if it is, he got. I'm sorry to say it, but he can't be all the way. He can't be all the way right. There's either a stud, there has to be a stud woman who likes that shit, okay? Or a man who's not standing on square, bruv. It cannot be. A true masculine energy will not. He would have came out the room. If he heard her in the phone doing all of that shit, he would have came out the room. Like, what are you doing? What is all of this you got going on? Even on the app, you would have heard the man in the background. Like, listen, I need you to calm all that down. You would have heard her mute the mic. Something would have happened. She's too loud. All of that spitting on the phone and screaming, a real man would have showed up somewhere in the background. You would have heard the baby get snatched from her. Something. I'm telling you, like, we gotta.
There's no way you go from that energy, to now being a loving and caring mom. It's just hot, like, you know.
That's what was like the baby. You didn't hear me say the baby though, but the baby.
But this is something that y'all need to understand here, y'all. When she first came off the mic, she had every single talking point of a misandrist, right? When have y'all ever known a misandrist to have a man in her life, right? The two don't go together. The two cannot exist in the same space with each other. You cannot be this woman in a loving relationship, a productive relationship with a man, but you're a misandrist at the same time. Either A, he's a bitch ass nigga for allowing you to goddamn have this mindset, or B, he is goddamn finna tell your ass, no, you're not finna talk like that, and we're together. A real man is not going to allow you to have these talking points about men if he's in your life, right? So that should have let you know that she does not have a man in her life. And if she does have a man in her life, it is like we cooperating. He will be on the
We can't offer up abolition's best legal prayer. His games and tracks. He welcomed the South African slaves and chains 3 years ago. He said that to Trump.
You said that I don't know what he did.
You know, he isn't really trusting.
I'm sorry, I was apprehension. Your chosen profession was politics. You never trusted the president, never trusted it. I had some surprised. Mr. Stevens, I'm surprised you this. Therefore, nothing found you surprised. Perhaps that's why your constituents have not really been to they come in very little dark in the sun. They get a picture in compromise. I have to say, leader, God, forsaken Republican Party, has asked us to work with him to accomplish the death of slavery in our pertaining opposition as a
calling out their first responders, right? The guardrails are supposed to keep you on the road, to keep you safe. This is what men's functions was supposed to be for women in life. But feminism removed all of that shit and told women, you can drive however the fuck you want to drive. And when people get into accidents on the road, who do they call? They call first responders. They come and help them, which are normally going to be men. They call the ambulance, the tow truck, the police, all of that shit. And when those men did not show up to help her out of that ravine, this is where the men bashing comes from. Men ain't shit because no one helped her out of her fucked up situation, even though she was led astray by women. Feminism was a bill of goods sold to women by women that were no good. I'm sorry, y'all, but that's just my observation of things. They removed the guardrails.
They're supposed to use this.
But hey, but Sig, I put that story to the McDonald's killing in the chat. Okay. If anybody want to go watch the video, I'm also explaining her reason why she snapped at her.
Jay, you want to go next? What does it say? You got it.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Sig. Yeah, I came in kind of probably on the tail end of that. That's not the first time I've heard that particular individual yelling on this app. I mean, she's not the only one, obviously, but someone had mentioned something about being provoked. That's a cop out and that's bullshit, right? We're all adults. We should be able to control ourselves and conduct ourselves in a manner that is respectful. I also agree that she probably doesn't have a man there because I know my husband would have grabbed my motherfucking phone, okay? So there's absolutely no man there that I could definitely. He probably, I don't know if he's at work or like you saying he just comes on the weekend, but yeah. And I also agree with Adrian about feminism. I'm not a feminist. I think feminism really did ruin a lot of women. It made women believe that they're the same as men, and we're absolutely not. Men are their own type of species. They're great. Women are great when you got a great woman. And so I think it's caused a lot of delusion for women to think that they're men. And I don't know about y'all, but I would not want to be a man. Being a man is hard, right? You got to deal with all the bullshit out there. Like you were saying, the first responders, y'all go in a lot of high stress situation. I'd much rather be a woman and, stay at home and cook and, make sure everybody's happy and do my thing. So shout out to y'all. That's all I got to say.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, man. See, this is what I say. Not all. There are some wonderful black women like Dr. Goddess, like Jay. There's several of them that we interact with, so it's not all, folks. What it is there's just the loudest, squeakiest wheels are the ones that get all the attention. And they make black women look bad, man. And unfortunately, there's a lot of them. Like I said, not the majority aren't on the wild extreme end of the spectrum, but the majority do have the attitudes of Tory. The majority of them fucking do, and it's a fucking problem. And this is what's causing the black community in America to break down. Again, this is why our families are broken, our homes are broken. We don't have any fathers. We don't have any, and it's time for black women to start taking accountability. Say, hey, you know what? Maybe it is a problem that I'm laying down and procreating with men who haven't committed to me, who haven't proven to me that they want to be my husband and they want to be a great father to my children. Maybe I do have some responsibility to, at least not procreate with them. Not saying you got to abstain from getting dick. It's 2025. We're going to get dick now. It is what it is. But at least be smart enough and wise enough to not attach yourself to that man for the next 18 to 20 years of your life. That's all we're asking for. Just a little bit of accountability. And maybe if the attitudes and the combativeness drop down to an acceptable level, you might see that marriage rate spike and get to 50% to where the Indian women, the Mexican women, the Asian women, the Native American women, they might be the white women. They might be able to hit that 50% threshold where all the other groups of women are. Right? So.
Well, here's the biggest issue. The ears is two ears in one mouth, right? And when you're trying to even attempt to articulate, even ask a question, like I do like that Adrian continues asking that question about are you also talking about the men in your family or the women in your family, because it gets very daunting when you say black men, and it's like, okay, but you're not talking about your own, right? You're talking about everybody else, but not the people that raised you and put you out into the world, and now you have children, and this is what you're doing in front of the baby. And the baby is now going to think this is okay. This is why all the screaming is happening in the background, because you don't tame yourself and you can't tame the child. So I'm just saying, like, it's the single motherhood is a disease. Sorry, but not sorry. It's this. I think that's the next wave of the feminism, the single motherhood syndrome, the pretty privilege syndrome. They do want, and respectfully, I do think that black women want to be married. I do think that they want men in the home. I do think that they want y'all help. Here's the problem. They're caught up in this independent act. Okay? The independent act is a play game, again, to overshadow these daddy issues, but then it's getting bigger than the daddy issues now, because again, I expressed that yesterday. A black woman expressed that the accountability will only take place when black men and the world take account for the things that they've done to black women And I'm just scratching my head like, so what do you like? Do you want us to write a law? Do you want to do you want a parade? Like, I don't know what they want people to do, because prejudice and racism and pushback and discipline and order, all these things are they're part of being a human. So like it's a part of the world is where we at. So I don't know what extra special toot beep beep train, or I don't know if they want a car. I don't know what they want. So maybe we should ask them and find out what do they want to take place in this accountability that they feel Black men are responsible for.
So, in most cases, when two humans negotiate with each other, it's usually a point of, this is what I'm offering, and this is what you're getting on, especially when it comes to this whole conversation about these single African-American clients, the ones that keep scrapping to the whole time, they don't want to negotiate. They don't want to negotiate anything. They want to be given something so they can control it. That's what they want. They want control. And once I figured this out about being on stage, that's when it was decided. Okay, I'm not going to deal with anyone that makes cover or come across that wants control. Because I know what control does. Yeah, every single piece of history to show what control does when students have it. So me personally, I would shoot best love for you. If you show up to me and say, this is what I need to do, I'm going to tell you, okay, so what you're giving me is whatever I want. But that's not fair. I'm not going to waste my time. That's what they want. So this is bad.
And he's right. It's about absolute control and revenge. It's about getting back. It's I feel slighted, and I'm not gonna feel at peace until I get back and I show these motherfuckers who I feel have wronged me that I can get back at them and have that leverage and control. So Isaac's absolutely 100% right. These women don't realize they're stabbing themselves in the foot from the very fucking beginning, man. The attitudes they have, like even on the dating websites, man, like you notice a difference in attitude between the Black women and the non-Black women when you're looking at these profiles. Immediately, the Black women start off with contempt. It's my degree, my education, my job, my businesses. That's consistently what you would see listed on these profiles. And then you go to the other races of women, it's, oh, I love my pets, I love to cook, I love spending time with my family. Even the pictures on the profiles I've noticed consistently. Black women are in bathrooms taking selfies. Ass is always poked out. There's rarely any pictures of these women with men doing activities, family activities. You look at the white girls, you look at the Hispanic girls, they got pictures with their brothers, 4th of July cookouts, barbecues, on the lake, on the beach, smiling, holding a fish in their hand because they're out on the boat, having a great time. These women, I think mentally, these women are so fucking hardened and have this heavy suit of fucking armor on because in their mind, they have to fight the world. And I think a lot of these women, especially at the 70% single mother rate, they're literally operating like a man. They're out here working, protecting, and providing, and taking care of an entire fucking household. So these women have become hardened, and they don't realize that that's a persona that they give off, and it instantly comes across as unattractive to the type of men that they're going for. And then this builds more anger and builds more fucking resentment. They just get worse and worse and worse as they go on to where these women sound like Danielle and they sound like Tori.
Hey, sir.
What's up, Dr. Long?
Is there also a weight problem going on?
Oh, yeah. We talked about that. Yeah, we were talking about that about 30 minutes ago, bro. Yeah, they're the most obese. And her thing was, well, Black men are the most obese out of the fucking men. But freaking
JB read the stat.
Yeah, JB. No, it wasn't JB. It was who was it? Uncle Ruckus. Uncle Ruckus said that if you actually look at the stats, yeah, Black men are higher, but it's so negligible But if you look at the difference between black women and their counterparts and their peers, they are skyrocketed through the roof. They are several points above, as far as being the most obese. And again, everything that could be fixed in our community as far as black women taking accountability. Because as a black man, if you've been in these rooms and been in these discussions, black men will tell you, yeah, there's some ain't shit niggas, there's some fuck niggas out here, and there is some cleaning up that we need to do amongst black men. We'll take the accountability and we'll look at each other and say, yeah, we can do better. We can do some better. But whenever you try to point out some constructive criticism to black women, and again, not all, you almost always get pushback, and it's everybody else's fault.
Absolutely.
Can I say something about the obesity?
Yeah. Go ahead, Jay. Just real quick. Oh, go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, I wanted to say something about the obesity with black women. I think also that has to do with an aspect of feminism, because I think with feminism, as we know, what the whole agenda was, right, it was to get the man out the home. Well, to replace that man, they decided to give out food stamps, right? And now these fast food restaurants will allow you to use your motherfucking food stamps there. So it seems a lot easier, if they don't want to cook, right? They don't want to be traditional women. Of course, they're just going to go to a drive-thru and just grab up McDonald's or whatever the heck. And that's contributing to the obesity. And another thing with the fast food as well, that has a lot of chemicals and hormones that mess with all of us, but women especially too. And that's another reason why I think a lot of black women and just women in general who go and eat that, they have these attitudes and they have these moods. It's the food they're putting in their body as well. So I just wanted to speak on that.
You're talking about the you buy we fry places. They charge like $1. They will fry your food for $1.
Yeah.
And use your EBT card.
Yep. Also, here's another thing to look at. Sig, I noticed when you was talking about family photos and stuff. Other women will be with other members of their family in their family photos. I mean, y'all, we gotta admit, how many times have we seen on social media black women, black mothers having family photos with no father in them? Right? It's always her and the kids all day long, right? Every time they go and do a family photo, the father is nowhere in the picture. And if he is, that's a rarity, and that motherfucker get praised. But a lot of times, it's just the mother and her 3, 4, 5 kids, however many kids that she got, right? Like, that needs to stop, because it shows the level of prioritization in our lives, is that it shows that women rather have baby showers than bridal showers. They rather carry before marry, right? They put a lot of emphasis on being baby mamas and not wives, right? And a lot of women come in these rooms on this app. How many times have you heard a woman brag about how many times she's been engaged, but never crossed the finish line though, right? I got men proposing to me all the time. Yeah, but how many have you said yes to? How many times have you crossed the finish line? She can't answer that question. She can tell you how many times she's been in a race, but not crossed the finish line. That is crazy to me. That's not the flex that you think it is. When you brag about how many times you've been engaged, but never crosses the finish line. All right, and it shows a lack of self-awareness in our community, especially with our women. Also, with the obesity thing. Sig, another thing that you mentioned, the education, right? Black women, we know, yes, y'all are the most educated. And y'all also will use those degrees and stuff like that as a cudgel to beat men over the head with, right? Y'all will try to use these degrees to look down on men and try to silence men. Well, I went to school, right? I got a degree, blah, blah, blah. All right, so answer this question. If you're the most educated, then how come you're the most manipulated? Then you got all of this education, but you can't tell when a motherfucker's manipulating you, though.
Right. Yeah, good point.
You got all of this education, right? You went to school to be a dietitian. How come you can't address your weight problem?
No, that's true, bro. It's fucking true, and that's why they did tout that black educated, this and that. But once that got debunked and cracked wide open, we come to find out, you're not graduating, motherfucker. Again, it's a finish line thing, Adrian. We found out what? You ain't graduating. You're the most enrolled. But they took that to, again, use it as leverage over black men, to beat black men over the head. Say, we're the most educated. We're the most educated. To again, put them at a higher status. It's about control, and it's about givebacks. It's about trying to be better.
And so the degrees are in social science and early childhood education.
Criminal justice.
Broad Asia, they collect the rains. They collect the rains like Lord of the Rings. They just collect them.
Right. What's that? What's the ass wiping nurse? And a lot of them don't even become RNs. CNA. Yep. A lot of them. Yep. They stop at CNA. So they're professional ass wipers getting paid $13 an hour.
And why are they getting criminal justice degrees, like to get their relative out of jail? What? I have not heard of people. I'm not sure the stat.
I mean, degrees. I mean, if you're gonna go to CJ, if you're gonna be like, if you're gonna go into parole, stuff like that, cool. But most of them don't even go into that because they're gonna get their ass whooped, so they stay away from it.
Well, I think the point is that the point that we're making is that there's a lot of starting and not finishing, right? We're getting to the engagement and not to the actual marriage, and right, and the point of getting to the finish line is to start a new race with that individual, like a baton, passing the baton type of race. But the issue is we're not being transferred. Like, when you're married, when you go through the marriage, and I'm not talking about, not even bringing up the religious or the law portion of it. I'm just going to the aspect of family, right? The father or a male figure in your family that you respect is supposed to pass you on, right? It's supposed to give you away to your husband. I think this is also creating an issue because women are not being given away to the next leader. It's a baton pass, and it's a whole conversation that's being had. So when we, even go into what Sister J is saying about the feminism, the different waves that Black women have entered, and respectfully, I personally don't think that that's anything to do with us. We just need to back all the way the fuck out that shit because I'm not seeing where we don't have right to speak. I'm not seeing where we don't have right to be. All I'm seeing is that we don't want discipline. We don't want order. We want to be chaotic. We want to be all over the place. We don't want to be told we're wrong. We just don't want to hear, you gotta get in line you gotta get in line if you want good things. You do have to put on a certain act, and the things that we're assimilating to are not uplifting us as a whole. And it's always about the individual gender and not the whole race.
I like that. I like it.
Another point that I've been noticing. So when you have a group of Black men talking about various people dating Black women, they usually bring up, I don't really see like qualities she has to be a mother, a wife, like that. And sometimes sometimes what they say is valid, other times it's kind of like, it sounds like you problem I do. Then when you hear the woman talking about their issues, notice one thing. It's never about what particular problem that the man brings up. It almost seems like they're looking for men that are more female or feminine today. And that's what their issue is. So they don't really have an issue with who they are as a person. They just have an issue with, he wasn't nice or had a softer tone or something like that. And it's like, but he's a scammer. Or, my mom didn't like the way that, he planned out his life, or certain ways he acts I just don't like. I'm like, but there's nothing wrong with the way he acts. He just might be a bit aggressive. The thing I'm noticing with Black women, they complain about a lot of issues. Some of them, they're more talking about how the guy is not feminine or soft as they like, rather than any actual problem. Anyone else notice that?
Yeah, they did that that to me all day yesterday in Rich's room. I literally
I need you to get out the bathroom.
They did that to me yesterday all day. Yesterday they literally bullied me and did not speak to any point that I was saying. So it's not just you, Isaac. It's not just men. It's anyone who wants to ask questions of logic, sensibility. Like if you're trying to have any conversation that is opening up the mind to let them look at themselves in the mirror, it immediately turns. And Adrian just said it, the accountability. If a person is not ready to hear or look into their own lives or see that it is spewing out into reality and creating people's actuality, then it's going to seem like an attack every time. They're not going to speak to any point that you're actually bringing up to have a conversation. So literally, it's not just you. It's across the board.
People have a tendency of when you hold up a mirror to them and show them exactly who the fuck they are, instead of them addressing what they see in the mirror, they rather talk about the dirt underneath the fingernail of the hand that's holding the mirror. Shit that don't matter.
Ooh, that's a bar.
For real. Don't matter.
That's
They talk about shit that don't fucking matter. That's not the issue. Who gives a fuck about address what's in front of you first. Let's have a conversation. But motherfuckers don't want to do it because, like I say, accountability will always seem like an attack to those that are not ready to face the consequences of their actions, man. I'm gonna keep saying this shit. I'm gonna keep fucking saying this shit because it's true, man. And accountability is not gender specific. This shit is universal. This shit crosses all racial lines, all goddamn gender lines, right? This applies to anyone. But motherfuckers rather talk about ancillary bullshit and try to become a landscaper and move the goalposts from this end of the field to that end of the field to shit that don't fucking matter. Nah, that's not what we're talking about. Let's talk about the shit that's right here in front of you first. But they don't want to do it.
Can you hear me coming out?
Yeah, it's a little bit better. Yeah, I think you got Bluetooth in, so it's
way better. It's way better.
But it is better.
What I was asking is, does it seem like a lot of black people are looking for men that have more feminine traits rather than who they are in person?
No, what these black women, specific types of black women are looking for is Tupac in a business suit, a corporate Tupac. They want the thug aspect, the masculine aspect, but then they want him to come with the freebie lifestyle where they can just literally just sit back on their ass, not have to do shit, and shop and go to boutiques, and they don't want to have to put in the fucking work. But then they also want another aspect of this man to bow down and acquiesce to everything that they want. So they want him to be masculine when it's convenient for them, but they still want to be able to control and call the shots with these men. And these men do all the work and take care of all the shitty parts in life while they get to enjoy the benefits of what his work is. That's typically what I'm seeing on these dating websites. When you listen to these dating shows, think about the clip we just played earlier. That woman was an escort, an active escort with 11 kids. And what does she want? She still wanted a man that made six figures. She said she preferred if he was a millionaire.
I agree with Isaac. Yes, because they are raising these effeminate males. So I agree with you.
And how are they raising these effeminate males though? Like when you look at it,
because there's no male figure, no masculine man. They raising these punk boys.
Well, no, but how are they raising them? KP, look at these son husbands that are very common in the black community.
That's what I'm saying. They're effeminate.
Well, no, but hear me out. Listen to me. Listen to me. Look at how they act. Whenever they get disrespected, who are the first ones they want to jump up and defend their honor? It's these fucking boys. But then they want these boys to cow down whenever they get pissed off and upset.
And that's why they're effeminate. Because a man will say, hey, you're wrong, sit your ass down. You're not going to risk my life because you're loudmouth ass.
That mother-husband thing's a real thing. One of my friends is I mean, for years, you know what I'm saying? I remember when his dad left or they divorced or split up or whatever. I can remember that. And like after that, bro, my homeboy became his mom's boyfriend. She got mad if she didn't get no gifts on holidays, Valentine's days. Um, hey mom, I wanna, we gonna go out of town. Well, you gonna miss this, and I want you to be. I'm talking. I used to be like, bro, like we used to talk about it, and to this day, he can't shake it. But then when he get with women, he's like, he can't keep a girl, and this nigga, I mean, he can't keep him from cheating on him or nothing. And he's a good dude. I'm talking about good heart, red straight. Credit, everything you would think a motherfucker would want. My boy got it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. It's something about when that daddy leave, bro. It does something crazy. And yeah, this is what we're dealing with. I think a lot of those women they don't want. I mean, you hear them say shit like, "We want to cut our brains off when we go out," and like it's like the most ridiculous requirements. You know what I'm saying? From some of the like people that just come on.
So can I just say one thing about the accountability part? And that is that I believe that it is a parental problem. I don't know if you've ever been out and about or maybe within your family where you will see a black mother with her child, whether it's a boy or girl, whatever, and they will make a mistake, they'll spill something, whatever it is that they do. And the penalty for that mistake is so severe. Like I've seen little black children get punched, cursed out, smacked up, like for something really minor. And so it becomes a problem in their lives. They're not loved when they make a mistake. And so as they get older and they are clearly making mistakes, because we all do, the first thing that they want to do is deny, right? They don't want to accept the responsibility because in their lives, any mistakes that they've made, big or small, has come with such severe punishment. I think that there's a problem there that has not been addressed, and it's coming from their childhood and how their mothers are treating them.
It's actually also too from the dislike of the father and the man that was chosen. So this it still goes back to the accountability of the woman. Women are doing this thing. You want the autonomy. You want to have full control of what you do, where you go. How you dress, everything. And again, not allowing fathers to be present, whether you want to co-parent or not, or whatever the case may be, being upset at the father and not allowing the father to be present with the child, regardless of how you feel about the man, is what's causing the breakdown. Mothers are disliking fathers because of the choice she made, and then abusing the child in public, and now the child is going to turn into a social anxiety, feminine gay boy who doesn't know which way or whatever, or even because like it's so respectfully, I'm gonna drop this last little piece. Look up Trevor's project, because Trevor's project is the result and equation to what you're talking about, Thunder. The children not being helped through and built up and putting confidence in, especially young black men. They are not seeing fathers. They're not seeing examples. They don't have uncles, brothers. They don't have men around them to show them how to really chop wood and go play basketball and do stuff that boys are supposed to go do. Jump off a tree and scrape your knee or something. Not put on nails and women's heels and strut around like this is. It's a very terrible opposition. So again, I'll say it: single motherhood is a disease because it's diseasing our boys, and I want boys to be boys, not tuck their pee-pees underneath their legs. And this is what Trevor's project is about. It's about they're literally promoting that all children are trans. Okay, they're saying all children are trans. Really quick. Just really quick. They're
But I want to piggyback off Dr. Thunder. There's a lot of black boys that get beat on by their mother, and the first thing that comes out that woman's mouth, "You look like your black ass daddy." It's like, what? I hear a lot of young boys say that. They've been spanked, and the first thing to come out that woman's mouth
You look like your black ass daddy. Crazy.
And you have to really look at like the root cause of that. It all stems back from slavery. People like to say that's just an excuse, but honestly, even scientists have recently confirmed that memory is genetically ingrained. It's not just the short and the long-term cognitive ability of the mind, right? And we see the effects of it still to this day. Like why would a mom say that about the child who looks just like her? It all stems from that institution where the black woman who worked hand in hand with white supremacy, enacted the law. They were in charge of a lot of the, positions when it came to the field hands because, as is said in the Willie Lynch doctrine, you would control the man through the woman. You know what I mean? You can from.
Yeah,
yes, it's the fact.
Go ahead and finish, but let's break this down. Go ahead and finish it, but we're gonna break this.
Right. And then it even shows today, just like the mentality, everything that you guys have said, it's fact that stems from that. Like, why would a black man, a man that looks like you, have to go through these hoops and hurdles, have to make six figures, be obedient to your will, yet be masculine when you want it to be? Meanwhile, you can go to a white man who has literally everything in the opposite direction, and you'll bow to him, obey his every command, whether it's sexual or, anything thereof, and there's no talk back. There's no conflict whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Like this just happens out of a vacuum? No, it's because of the fear of God that they instilled in the black woman for hundreds of years, right? So for a black man, because their mind has been genetically warped through those hundreds of years of liberal conditioning, right? For a black man to even have half of the value of a white man of no value, he has to have that for them to even in their mind think that it's okay for me to date you because you're not worthy of a superior race. That's the break. That's the problem.
Okay, let me help you out, brother. Let me help you out. There's no such thing as Willie Lynch. That was all a lie. So you can kill that argument.
No, I don't need help. That's a known doctrine that's been around for some
No, not so. That was a lie.
It's a fucking lie, man. It's not true.
It's not true at all.
Google it, bro.
If you look at the language, how it's written, you did not speak at that time. No certain individual ever wrote in New Age English. That's bullshit. That's how we got disproven.
Yeah, thank you, doctor. I mean, clearly, some people do like to defend that institution. There really is a divide within the black community between light and dark skin for a reason. That didn't happen.
Before you go into the light skin versus dark skin, let's go back to what you originally said. Let's break this down.
Yes.
Your statement and your stance was the abusive language coming from black single mothers being perpetrated onto their children comes from slavery. I would like to correct you on that. That is not true. We have a shit ton of video footage, photos. Black women weren't acting like that. Our great-grandmothers did not act like that. Our great-grandmothers, the black grandmothers, were some of the most feminine women you can come across, bro. Ask any older black person that's 50, 60, 70 years old. Go through the photo albums of your grandmothers and great-grandmothers. These women were feminine as shit. If you look at how black women were portrayed, even if you look at Good Times, even if you look at what you call it, 227, even if you look at what's the one with Weezy, the Jeffersons, the Cosby Show. No, our black women weren't acting like this, bro. It's once they started taking on the stress of trying to act like men by taking care of protecting and providing an entire household, that's when they started getting stressed out and started because they had to become the disciplinarians now. Our grandfathers and great uncles, those were the niggas that were those were the niggas that would make us go get a switch off the bush and whoop our ass with it. Our grandmothers and great grandmothers and our aunties weren't doing that shit, bro. So and yeah, were black women a little more sassy and outspoken than the white women or the Hispanic. Yeah, but they weren't to the degree of what they are today, bro. So it doesn't come from slavery. It comes from the fact that they're donning this masculine persona that they're not evolutionarily fucking built for. They don't have that hard. I'm sorry, they don't have that evolutionary experience to take on that kind of stress of what a man takes on to bear an entire family and a household on his shoulders. So now what you have is you have a bunch of stressed out, erratic, emotionally exhausted women who are disciplining now out of frustration and anger instead of disciplining out of love. That's where that comes from.
And see,
But that's what you know.
talking about stuff like that.
I see things.
Let's give him a chance to respond real quick, and then you can go after. But go ahead, you get a fair chance to respond.
No, I'm just saying if that's how you perceive that aspect of it, that's your viewpoint. I do agree with that, but I do feel that my stance is much stronger because what you said has actually only been. You can say that was appropriate for, let's say, Reconstruction period up till the 20s, but then after that, once we as a people have started to be able to provide for ourselves and acquire material possessions, I believe that because the black woman is very materialistic driven. Once this era starts coming to play, when we can start to interact with whites and shop at their so-called high-end goods, this is when the divide has happened. Because even then, during those times, and I'm talking about real-life examples, not really, let's say, portrayals of real-life television shows, because those are fictitious accounts, right? We've seen this in the divested movement as early as the 50s and the 60s. So, again, you have your stance, I have mine. Thank you for letting me talk. You know what I mean?
I'm about the age. I'm about the age. What's going on for you, Angel? You got really what's up, Say? What's up, everybody?
The sisterhood. Y'all know what the sisterhood code is? When they don't hold themselves accountable, their sisters accountable for their bullshit behaviors. That sisterhood code here is fucking poisonous and it's destructive. It's to the point now where I don't even know if the sisterhood code rivals the police blue wall of silence. I don't even know which one is stronger at this point. The only time you will ever see women hold their sister accountable is when they have a falling out or some sort of disagreement, right? That is the only time you will see that happen. The sisterhood code, a lot of women will not go through it. They will not violate it because if they do, they get labeled pick-me's and pick-mishas and mammies and shit like that, right? And so for the women that do violate the sisterhood code and be like, nah, fuck that bullshit, I gotta call you hoes out, I applaud y'all. Because y'all get the most backlash and you get the most bullshit thrown your way by those that do not want to face accountability. Like Goddess, right? Goddess gets so much backlash from women on this fucking app, that shit is crazy. She even actually had a room talking about the unholy alliance or the irrational alliance between black women and the rainbow community. Right? Motherfuckers came in that damn room and was on 10 and was like, yo, what the fuck? Disagree with everything that she said. Even though she was speaking facts, they disagreed. When black men hold black women accountable, guess what? You're misogynist. You hate black women. Well, let's talk about that. Even if he does hate black women, he hates his mother. Why? And this is going to trigger a lot of people when I say this, but why does everyone assume that every black man was raised by a stellar black woman? A lot of people have ain't shit mothers out here that raised them. They don't never want to talk about that ain't shit mothers. Even if he does hate his mother, I'm pretty sure he probably have a very good reason as to why he hates his mother. Because maybe his mother was a piece of shit. You ever thought about that? Maybe his mother allowed her best friend to fuck him at 14 years old. Maybe his black mother did not put food in the house and left them starving for the whole fucking weekend while she went out and got there dropped it low. Right? Maybe, just maybe, she never attended any parent-teacher conferences or came to any one of his sporting events. Just maybe. So even if he does hate black women or hates his mother, maybe he has a very good fucking reason. Right? Because a lot of men will was raised off of toxic femininity. They talk about toxic masculinity to no end, ad nauseum, but they never want to talk about toxic femininity. Toxic femininity, what it looks like is a mother telling her 9-year-old son, stop crying, quit being a pussy, quit being a girl. She's teaching him not to show emotion. So when he grows up to be a man, now these women they're wondering why they're in relationships with men that are emotionally unavailable. Well, that's because he was taught never to be emotional by his fucking mom to begin with. It's cyclical. Toxic femininity is cyclical than a motherfucker. And they never want to talk about that shit. But you know what? Let me stop cooking like a hibachi chef, flipping shrimping out my face and my grass.
I want to address America. Okay, I want to address America Jonesy when you mentioned about good times. You know, that show was designed, I guess, around Esther Roll to be a single mother. She turned the role down. She said, no, I'm not going to be a single mother. Out of her own mouth, said, no, it's going to be a united black family. There will be no good times without her. She said, no, I'm not going to do the single motherhood. Hell no. I want a husband. And that's when they got John Amos.
I didn't know that. I really appreciate you for expressing that, because that is one of my favorite shows to watch. I love Florida, and I do think that I think age bracket does have a thing to do with this. You know, my grandmother passed away at 95, and my mother passed away at 68, and I'm 35. So if you see the 30-year, you know, like it's right, 30 years, 60 to 90. Yeah, that's 30-year brackets in between, you know, give or take a few years. But I do think age gap between a mother, grandmother, and daughters does matter. And it's changing very drastically. If women who are ahead of me don't have the experience to show me what I'm supposed to and how I'm supposed to operate and move in a world of where men are the ones who move this shit. Like, respectfully, this is what the real fight is about too. Getting into male seats, getting into men's places and spaces and wanting to see what men is doing. I don't really understand it. You know, Florida is a great depiction of doing what you're supposed to do and doing it when you're supposed to do it. Cause she ain't insert herself where she wasn't I guess asked to be present. You know what I'm saying? Like if Amos said, I got this, he said she backed down. Like I think the what do they call it, conflict resolution aspect that was shown in that show was very dynamic. But they're not sitting at home watching Good Times. They're watching Sexy Red on YouTube. You know, they're watching Shay Shay House. You know, they watching Megan Thee Stallion. They watching Love and Hip Hop, and now I need to go see what this Love Island thing is, because I don't have
They are the
that's why a lot of us black men are divesting. Not that we hate black women, it's just that when we typically come across black women like Dr. and J.A. first, they're already snatched up because they're so popular. You know, they get snatched up really fucking quick. So we don't even have a chance. And then it's like, damn, I don't want to sit through 70% of fucking shit. So I'll just go to the girls and ask for the shit as man, you know?
Oh my God, I've heard that. It was the femicide too.
I've never seen a group of people
to me like that. And she grabbed that motherfucker and said, I love you. Oh my God, I love you. She know her damn ways. Like she was trying to challenge that space that I would take over. Or you gotta get the fuck out. And he like, nah. Yeah, I told you to be quiet. Yeah. And he told her ass when he walked up to her ass in the cafeteria, he was like, look, I love you. I don't like fighting with you. We gonna go home, we gonna talk this shit out, and we gonna resolve this issue. Like, come on, right? And we walked away. She looked at her girlfriend and was like, I'm gone. She got up on the table. When they was in their own apartment, he had to step up to her. Yeah. She was like, I love you. There you go. Exactly. Like, she knew her place. But that whole bullshit about them being like that, black man should be aborted, the brick lady and all of that shit, every black man had a diaper. When it came out that she was actually lying, that girl was actually lying, and she was standing on the water. We saw that was her second time. That was her second time. Exactly. And we have to say an apology to those women who would die black women. No, not that I need an apology from the likes of women like that, but it's just nice to show that you have some sort of integrity. And the fact that motherfuckers did not have any integrity to come on the app and apologize to the men that they indicted and excoriated shows that you're not dealing with integral people. These people's moral compasses are fucked up out here, right? Just like the girl that was just in the room. You sit up on this app and talk so many shit about black men, but you want to try to settle your moral high horse, and this goddamn woman look down on you. I hate a person that try to look down on people who walk with their nose in the air knowing they got big moves. I'm trying to understand, like, what are you bringing to the table? And my thing is, the whole time, especially Rod Danielle, she kept over talking crazy, like 25 minutes. And Rod letting her do this shit. When everyone else got on, trying to, and I actually like 25, like, where's the accountability on your end? Because it seems like you're putting every fucking all the time on black men. And it's in, we see this shit all throughout social media, whether it be on YouTube or X or Facebook or Instagram and all the other fucking sites and shit. And all you see is the same stupid rhetoric. But and then she's throwing out things like on her laws, divorce, so on like that, her laws, same for another married, what's that BBM? Why are these bringing out her arbitrary?
their mind, he was being perfectly faithful, right? Even when he got exposed for being a piece of shit, they still did not abandon Kim. They didn't. Even more, they beat it up. He was going speaking engagements and all of those women was in the front row trying to get their book signed, trying to get pictures, all of that shit. They was in the club with that motherfucker. They tried to tell me, well, follow that snake. That's a snake ass motherfucker. He ain't shit. Y'all men just hate it. Y'all don't like women. Y'all don't like women. Don't you know? He was a fucking yes man for you. And a lot of women suffer from confirmation bias, right? They don't really want to hear men like us, our opinions. They just want their opinions repeated back to them with interview quotes. That's all they want. And that's what Peter Jackson was doing. Repeating back to them all of their opinions about men and women.
Yeah, that's true. Oh shit, baby in the building. What's up, baby? But that's what they want, though. They want to do it was aesthetically pleasing and financially pleasing, but they want to fucking control. They still want to have control. And then say so, man. So then this a man who co-signs a fucking bullshit, man. That's all they want, man. And it's, that's crazy, man. Dude, like I said, the most attacking of black women I've seen, I personally witnessed this from other fucking black women when we don't agree with them. You don't co-sign the fucking narrative, man. It's so crazy how disrespectful that they get. And it's like Tori, the way she showed her ass to me, I'm like, nobody called her out of her name. Nobody yelled or raised her voice at her. She got the utmost respect, even though she came in here and showed her fucking ass. And then you got two fucking upstanding black women just trying to have a conversation, and she just totally fucking, oh my god.
So this is what I've been asking men to kindly do. Just kindly, respectfully, stoically, confidently. Don't respond. Just don't respond, because it shows who you are, and it bubbles up who the truth is on, you know what I'm saying? The topic, everything, just backing out of the response, because they don't emotions. But children are not allowed to speak aloud. They're not allowed to express themselves. Young boys, I'm sure young boys are seeing things that their mothers are doing and they want to say something, but oh, woe is me if they express to their mothers that are paying the bills and taking care of them and putting clothes on their back and feeding them and giving them their whole entire life because she's basically promoting that he doesn't need his father. He doesn't, you don't need him, you know, you don't need him, you don't need to talk to him, and if you do have a relationship with the father, it's at bare minimum. So I'm just saying, just go ahead.
Guys, there was a classic when Amber Rose came over here to Masculine Mansion and she went upside down on her ass. Upside down on her ass. Yeah, Amber Rose brought her ass in here trying to fucking promote that slut shit, man. Like, yo, man, walk shit. We went off on her ass, man. Yeah. That's what we need to start doing as a society, man. We just need to collectively start shaming this shit, calling it out, not giving it any fucking room and space. And you're right, Dr. Goddess, the biggest reason why I do entertain these type of women, because I like to use them as the example. And that's the only reason why I give them any type of space. But normally, I don't, I shut it down. I don't even respond. Like yesterday in that room when they started getting all wild and shit, and started muting and doing all that stuff, I quietly leave them. I'm not gonna sit up here and argue and waste my minute, especially in your arena where you got the biggest mic in control. They ain't gonna fucking have me crap. Come over here. Yeah, come over here and let's not be talking, let's let them argue with it, right? I'm not doing this shit. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let you show your ass and prove to the world that the point we're trying to make rings true. You're going to be the fucking example. And again, they're too stupid to fucking realize it, but that's fine. They let them be that way, call it, they'll prove to the world that what we're saying is right. And it opens people's eyes to say, hey, you know what? They got a point. Now I know how to navigate around these types of women. And then I know that, again, what I love about, like I said, women like you and Jay that come on the stage and are classy and extremely feminist, it helps people to show that, hey, there is a difference. It's not all black women. It's just a certain type, and we know how these women maneuver and navigate the world to stay away from them and avoid them. But we know that women that conduct themselves the way that you women do, those are the women that, will give a chance and will associate and we won't judge the book by the cover when it comes to women like y'all. So,
See that story up top, right?
yeah, I was just reading it, Adrian. Yeah.
Now, I'm going to ask you a question, right? And this is a totally entirely point. And this shit is fucked up. It's fucking me up, right? Because I'm looking at the real thing here in this whole entire story. A woman who got kids, right? She is a mother of 6. Those kids, their father is in prison, right? Now, she got kids by another black woman who their differences, right? And I'm asking myself, who's the when we listen to the person who did the killing, she's on live video saying that, hey, this woman bullied me at work. She didn't know how to talk to me. She was fucking making money. She's not taking accountability for when things get fucked up at work. She gave this McDonald's. Yeah. She said when we get busy at work, this is McDonald's, and we have a rush, of course we're gonna go to she is the manager. She's not taking accountability for anything that she does wrong. And when she try to when she be fucked up, she try to cover it up and try to pawn it off on other workers, right? This is what the girl is saying. She said, I'm tired of fucking with my money. She's sending me home early, right? I got bills to pay and all that shit. And she's at work. I have to work with the fucking manager who's a bully. And I got tired of that shit, right? And so the girl ended up killing her fucking manager. I have to say that, hey, even though this woman got killed, she still has 6 kids. All girls and women. She has 5 girls and 1 boy. Those kids are going to have to grow up without a mother. And who's to say that she wasn't being toxic to them at home themselves, right? But they also have to grow up without a mother who's dead and the father who's in prison. All because their mother got taken away by another black woman.
into his father's dick or his mother's.
Did you say first generation? Did you say first generation?
Somebody sent it to a story in other areas.
Yes. I don't fully support the narrative that some black women have about how they believe that black men should always be protecting them, and I'll tell you why. Because not only these stories that you are sharing and that Adrian shared, but there was also a case with a black woman, I believe it was in Michigan, who went to a wig store and didn't like the customer service or something like that. So she returned the next day with her 2 adult daughters, all to beat up that salesperson, and the Asian owner of the store had a gun, and she ended up shooting and killing the 2 daughters. So this woman went to jump to bully someone else because of something irrelevant, she didn't like the service of the wig, whatever it was, and she got her children, her 2 daughters killed over some nonsense that she started. That's why you cannot defend them all the time because they will get you caught up in some mess. And Thunder, that's what I mean. My revelation I was talking about. I've been friends with them. I've been in their friend groups. Like I'm telling you, if people be like, "Oh, you're not black," I'm like, listen, it does not matter. I've been friends. I sat at tables with this woman. I watched them plan to jump other girls because you don't like what she. Hold up, pause. Wait, what are we doing? We ganging up to go jump shorty because you don't like that she got her own hair or she thinks she better than. This is the type of fucking shit that they was bullying other girls about, and I'm sitting here like, bruh, is this what we wasted time about? And literally, like, eventually, I had to get up from the table with them because black women would sit at the table, they would drink, we would smoke the weed. I'm like, we was young, we was in high school, whatever. We had our money, work our little jobs. But so I ain't gonna lie, and sorry, but not sorry. Some black women was lazy. They already had babies out of high school. Guess what the fuck they didn't want to do? Get a fucking job. Guess what the fuck they was going to do? Go to the goddamn child support. I literally had to back out of a girlfriend group because Shorty was like, yeah, I'm about to get this thing. I'm sorry, black American women, the man just came from Jamaica. I knew the Bridger, he just came from Jamaica, and she saw him at the club, fell in love with him, and literally found out that he just got a good job, just got his out, just got all the things. He came here, did all the right things. He didn't come here legally. He did the proper things. He was set in stone, had his work ready, and this girl planned and plotted on this man and said, yeah, I'm gonna his name was Jeffrey. That was his name. His name was Jeff. I'll never forget Jeffrey. She sat here and plotted on this man, sat at the table while we're smoking and drinking and having a conversation as young ladies. And she's like, yeah, I really like Jeffrey, but I want to have this baby. Like, I think he's a good man. And the whole thing trickled out into her. She tore him down. The job, he lost the job, he lost the car, he lost the place. As soon as she found out she was right? And you still not carrying the whole family right. You still letting children down. You still not feeding them good food. You don't want to cook nothing that's not coming out of a box. That's not coming out of a motherfucking drive-thru. I'm confused.
That's great. You know, to that point, Dr. Goddess, it's, it's real because we all don't know each other from fucking Adam. Most of us have never met each other in person. Most of us live in different sectors of the country, if not the world. And when we stay here in conversation, compare notes, we all got the same fucking stories. So, same stories.
She's from New York. She literally told of my high school experience in New York City with going to school with black women or black girls. And I'm in California, so yeah, I hear you.
My ex-wife was mixed. Her dad was white, her mom was black. And she went to Finney High School in Detroit, over on the east side. And the stories I used to hear from her, going to school with these dark-skinned black people, they would terrorize her. They would rip the hair out of her scalp. They would beat her up, call her a white whore, a white bitch. I mean, these dark-skinned black women were fucking ruthless to her growing up, man. Even her own sister, they got different dads. Her sister's dark-skinned black, and her sister's on this good old, black girl magic, bro. Black women are gods and all this dumb shit. But she was even telling me when she used to get in fights with her sister would physically pummel her, and call her white whores and white bitches and white sluts. I'm like, I felt bad. I was like, holy fucking shit. And she was like, this is what I'm gonna do. Like, being a light-skinned, mixed breed, black girl growing up with these black women, these black girls, she's like, they were fucking terrorists, man. They were terrorists.
Said that they would bring scissors to the school and they would literally cut your hair off if you had the nerve to have long hair.
Yep, I've heard that from several black women over the years. Yes, I've heard that.
They would really, I mean, respectfully, again, all the black women, and the majority of the ones that we're talking about, they will come and say, oh my God, again, women haters, blah, 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 blah. But I sincerely am concerned, and I think everyone else who are speaking, they don't hear the concern. We're concerned about your mental health. We're concerned why you think that being single and by yourself and holding up an entire household, money, finances, discipline, bearing the children, feeding, like you're doing that, and then you get mad when a nigga don't want to come over your house to cut your grass. You don't want to just come over here to cut your grass. Like, you're gonna pay him. Go call. Mexican Poppy to come goddamn cut your motherfucking grass. Like, you're not just gonna have no man coming to call to but there you go. Call him too. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm just thrown, like, by the whole independent, my body, my choice, right? And then I'm sitting here like, okay, yes, you had a choice before someone took over your body. It's perfectly fine. Like, everything they say, I'm like, there's a twist in terms of this shit. My choice, my body. Yes, your choice before your body was taken over. Now that your body is taken over by another human body, you don't have no choice, my girl. Like, your choices are dead. Your choice is now that child. Like,
Just because of not being on the proper medication. they hip hop and shit.
Yo, real quick, I just want to bring attention to the chat. Let's want to talk about a little skinny dreadhead ass nigga, Mr. Stereo. Come on here, man. I'm gonna send you that way with your dumb ass logic. This is what I'm talking about. You can tell this nigga was raised by a dumbass fucking sick blood. His response to all of this is, but ain't you niggas black though? That's his response. Right, that's what I'm saying. Thank you. So because we're black, we're not supposed to criticize and talk about how we can improve and do better. And your response is, you dark women have hair, so are women in your family dark. Just because I have black women in my family doesn't absolve me from being able to criticize shitty behavior. He says Dr. Goddess, you dark skin, so they talking about you. No, we're not talking about Dr. Goddess. We're not talking about when it comes to the stage. This is what I'm saying. These slow ass, dreadhead ass niggas, there's consistency in where this bullshit is coming from, bro. It's stupid. Just fucking fucking retarded. This is the most retarded response you can fucking give to everything. Are you listening to everything that we've been saying? So because I work for Ford, I can't criticize Ford cars if they have some fucking ailments and they're pumping out limits and there's some flaws in the engineering and the design. I can't criticize Fords because I work for them. That's your logic. Yes, it's an art skin women. Again, not all you retard. You understand what generalizations are. You can generalize, but it doesn't mean you're implying all. We just noticed a consistent pattern with a certain group of people that share common aesthetics.
Criticize them. Give me a water park.
Has she done Jane evidence
We know you live that in the book right now. But what I want to do is I want to bring it down a couple levels because what you ladies were getting into was very interesting. I want to reset it and give you guys a chance. So let's let KK restate her premise. Doctor, you will have the mic next to respond. And Mrs. DeGroot, we see you. We love you. Good to see you, sweetheart. Pretty as all. But let's reset it with KK and Doctor. So KK, you got it. Doctor, you can respond.
Thank you, Sid. And I will lead with this because I am a woman. Dr. Goddess, I apologize if I said some words that you may have misinterpreted because you do not know me. I apologize that I didn't convey what I wanted to say that would be palatable for all voices and ears on stage. I directed it to Sid. I listened for a long time in the audience for a reason because I said, you know what, this is a particular conversation and I'm really intrigued and interested to know why. I said, listen, I've heard this conversation with Sid multiple times for years upon years, right? But then when Sid brought up like, oh, this guy said another black man calling me a black Sid is a black man, this and that, and I'm thinking, well, that's a lot of criticism. Then I thought back into the chat, someone I thought was a man because it was very masculine energy. It turned out to be a female, so I apologize for assuming that you were a man. The man or the female was saying in the chat like, well, you know, Dr. and Jay, they would take you and Sid wouldn't want you because he suggested that he would only pick the white woman. And I'm thinking, well, there's a reason for that. Are we going to judge him for his experience in life of why he chose that choice? And I'm not white. I'm sorry that I do not live up to stereotypes. I did enter the room though with, you know, the number one rule as a female entering the Mickey Mouse Mansion is you got to bring something to eat. And I brought up fried rice and a chicken later. Okay, so like I apologize if it's misinterpreted. I'm here to listen and learn, and I'm flabbergasted that you were so offended by that. But I'm going to take that, and I'm going to work on that. I'm going to listen to that and try to understand the reason is. But the question still is there a problem within the black community of having criticism? And it's not me saying this as an Asian woman. It's not me saying as a mother who has had black children. I'm saying this as someone that wants to understand why is there so much more criticism in one cultural community compared to other cultural communities. What instincts or what factor is missing so I can be aware of it so when my children, when they're young adults, I can understand like why there is and kind of correct the behavior to make sure they're not as critical to the point that it's a detriment not to their own community, but also their lives and people within them for them to excel in life. So I will close with this. I apologize. I don't want any woman to feel like I'm attacking her in that position, but at the exact same time, I'm not allowed to ask the question because I'm not black. I don't get half a ticket to the barbecue because my children are half black. And like, oh, well, now she does have black children, so maybe we will listen to her talk. Like, I don't know how it goes, so I'm just asking. So my apologies for assuming that the masculinity mansion was a safe place for me to ask the question like I have for years with Sid. So I digress. And
Yeah, so somewhere in there was like some credulity and then like some condescending vibration and then the apology didn't, you know, I'm in Las Vegas. I don't know where everyone else is, but Las Vegas is a very interesting place when it comes to prejudice and race. And I'm here with Asian Pacific Islanders. I'm here with Filipino and Filipino Americans. I'm also here with Koreans. I'm here with Vietnamese. I'm here with Mexicans. And I'm here with a very minimal amount of dark skin, black people, just black people in general, just black folks. You know, whether black American, African, Afro-Caribbean, it doesn't matter. Very, very minimal amount. So the prejudices that I go
Because it's always about not wanting to hear the always like to, and I also think that there's a place to have generalizations about specific types of people, right? I know we've been talking about black women. I'm a black woman. Y'all can talk about black women. I don't give a fuck because I'm not the black woman y'all talk about. So talk about the bitches. I don't like them either. Like, so you know what I mean? I don't know. I try to look at things logically. I try to look at things factually. Kay can ask whatever she wants to ask, and that's it. But I don't understand the problem is. That's really what I want to say.
But here's the thing. We just keep going and digging. We flipped it to race. Now you want to be one of these militant motherfuckers.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was extreme.
I mean, I don't even agree with the matter. Exactly, Jay. The precursor was the problem. They didn't say who it was. They just said hello. Obviously, I knew that I was, shucking and jiving with him when I heard him on the stage. But like, she was so bothered by like what I said, and she's like, "Well, how dare you?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, curious. This is a good time to have this open conversation. I didn't just jump in the room and jump on stage. I listened to the hours. Exactly. Participate in the chat.
She's been a dominant female, and you overthrew her because of her relationships.
I believe in a lot of what she was saying. That's the whole point. I'm like, yeah. So I felt that I could come up on stage and ask this question because she had a very palatable stage giving back feedback and whatnot. She assumed I was white, and she's like, she didn't believe me. Anything is that. But then when Sid said, "Oh, well, you've known her," I don't like the whole pain in the ass part. Shut up. Go eat your carrots and remove your man's face, okay? But like, I didn't understand why that was, and it wasn't until Sid said, "Oh, she's." This is what they do to make sure they stay skinny and know how to eat and all that. You know what's really funny? You're still bald though. You're still bald.
because I'm saying the pressure and violent racism. You can't get anything done. They should be sympathy. You can't even go to the courthouse because it's going to be like, all right, they think it's fair. That's what we get. So we can start getting activists. So yeah, let's play activists. They got the more money we're going to have, and I hope Dr. God is going to get out of that. So she can come back to the conversation and learn, aka interpretation. She knows how to make something like
That is true. That is true. Collard greens, cornbread.
she reads, she
I didn't know how to make that. I'm gonna learn how to make that. That's for sure. It's probably not as good as many I ain't doing that. No chitlins. Never wash your collard greens in the bathtub. Okay? Sorry, I'm not Kamala. Not Kamala. Oh, by the way, Judge Joe Brown is in another room on Clubhouse right now.
Shut the fuck up, listen to it. And if it's valid, take it.
speaking, we know who he is. I mean, that was just another point I need. But yeah, there was a lot of that. And the fact that I forget what was his name, Killmonger, the guy went and